I not speak words today? Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with another book review. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I thought we would just do another book review as it is the middle-ish of the week, and the one that I thought I'd talk to you guys about today is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Again, I will focus on 5 things: the plot, the characters, the world or location, my overall feelings for this, and the writing style. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black is about a girl named Jude who is mortal, but she is brought to the fairy world. And in this world, fairies despise humans. They think of humans as basically, I consider it the scum of the earth. They don't think very highly of them. And she wants to be in the high court. She wants to be important. She really, really wants to be a knight to the king, or to a prince. And the Cruel Prince refers to one of the youngest sons, whose name is Carden, who is basically this giant bully to her the entire book. So for the plot of this is a first in the series, so there's definitely more to come on this, but I very much enjoyed what happened in this book. It was full of political intrigue, which is something that I knew going into it, and I wasn't quite sure what that kind of meant for this world. I enjoyed it a whole lot. The characters were very vivid. The world was very vivid. What are the words that I'm looking for? I was very intrigued the whole time I was reading this. It definitely has a slower beginning than end. Personally, I was hooked from page 1, but I did read the first half slower than the second half. But about halfway through, it just kind of goes crazy and the plot kind of flips on its head and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened here? This book has so many layers and you have to pay attention to every little thing. And this is definitely one that once the entire series comes out, I'm going to want to binge read, because I know there's going to be things that are in this book that are going to come and play in the very last one, whenever that one is. So the next little section of this video is going to be a big spoiler. Well, not a big spoiler, but definitely a spoiler for something that kind of happens near the end of the book. So I'll definitely put the spoiler warning up on the screen. So if you haven't read the end of this book, mute it while I'm talking about this one little itty bitty part, and then please come back when you see that go away. So can we just for a second, just for 1 second, talk about the fact that Carden and Jude kissed for a moment? Like what? Like no. No. That was not supposed to happen. But it happened, and it threw me off. I was not expecting that. Pretty sure I scared the crap out of my roommate because I threw this book across the room. I'm not even kidding you when I say I threw a book and then I picked it up and apologized to it. But oh my gosh, why? It didn't click in my head. It drove me crazy at first because I definitely didn't want it to turn into one of those hate to love relationships. I did not want them to be together, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, all right, I'm kind of on board with this. And then at the last second, Holly Black just flips everything around, and what you think you know, you don't actually know. And then the next thing you know, Carden hates her again, and any feelings that he could have possibly had for her are just bye-bye. They are out the window and he will never think of them again. And then that part of me just died a little because I wanted them to be a thing after thinking about it for so long. But I love that they're not. Like, I love that she takes this trope of the person you hate is actually the person that you end up falling in love with, and you think she's gonna put it in, and then she doesn't. And yeah, I loved it so much when she did that because it was so unexpected. Once I got over the fact that they could possibly start something, she took it away. She just took that away from me, and I liked it. I actually loved that she did that. Okay, so now that I have that out of my system, for characters, I want to talk about obviously the main one, which is Jude. She just wants to belong. She wants to belong in a world where she is human and everybody else is a fairy. She's a very strong reaction to not belonging. I feel like a lot of people can relate to her. No, of course, we don't grow up in a world where fairies do exist. We can all put ourselves, I think, in her shoes here, especially with the whole not belonging and feeling kind of out of it. Now, personally, Jude kind of annoyed me a little bit. She's definitely one of those characters that's kind of in between. Like, I don't hate her, but I definitely don't love her either. I don't think that Jude was written to be a likable character. I think she was written to be not unlikable, but more unlikable than likable. So, let's talk about Carden. Carden is a jerk, but I kind of love him. There are certainly parts in this book where I literally just wanted to pick Carden up and throw him out a window. I was so annoyed with him. But about halfway through, you start to realize why he's acting a certain way, or, you know, something like that. And it doesn't forgive anything that he does, but it does explain it. I love that you get that backstory to Carden, but I love him a lot, and I don't have a reason as to why. The world that Holly Black has created is amazing. She, to me, is one of the most amazing writers when it comes to world building, because you believe everything. There are definitely very, very, very small details about the human world and about this world that she's created that you wouldn't have thought of. For example, and this will not spoil anything, at one point Jude gets her period and she makes this comment in her head about the fact that, you know, you get it every single month, but not fairies. Fairies get it once a year. Who else would have thought about the fact about fairy females getting periods? Like, that is not something that crossed my mind, but it's such a very, very small detail that I loved that she included it, because it means that she thought this world out. This reminds me very much of J.K. Rowling and how there's so much to the Harry Potter world and the Wizarding world that you don't know about, because she has everything planned out. There's a reason for everything. Any question you could possibly have, she does have, you know, an answer for it. And I feel Holly Black is the same way when it comes to her world. I cannot wait for the second one to come out, and it comes out in over less than a year. It comes out next January. I just want to have it in my hands. I want to know what happens with them right now. I think I kind of went into the writing style a little bit when I talked about location, but I was definitely intrigued. I would definitely say this is a more complex writing style than, let's say, Becky Albertalli's writing, but I very much enjoyed it. I wasn't confused at all. There were definitely parts and questions that I had, but no more than I would any other book. I cared about these characters. I wanted to know what happened. I liked Holly Black's descriptions of this world that none of us know, yet we all know at the same time, because it's not too far from Earth. The way she describes the fairy world is just gorgeous. Plus, it does also help that you have a map at the very front of the book, which I always find very, very helpful, especially because I'm such a visual person, that you get this map. I don't know if you can't really see it very well, but it's not giant, but it definitely helps you see when she's traveling around, and I love it when authors put maps in the fronts of their books. I did very much enjoy Holly Black's writing style, and this is not the first thing I've read from her, but it's definitely the first thing I've read in a very long time. I think Holly Black did a really good thing with this first book being this first chapter of the story is complete. Yes, it kind of, you know, comes back around, but the bigger picture is still there. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but it was a very, very satisfying conclusion, I guess, to the first part of the journey. And can I just say, in terms of last lines, holy crap, this one throws a punch. I don't know if that's a weird thing to love, but the very last line of this book is probably my favorite part of the book, because it leaves such a powerful punch. It makes you think, or at least it made me think a lot. My overall feelings toward this book, I very much enjoyed reading it. Like I said, the beginning was more slow than the end. I personally was hooked by page 1, but I know people who were okay and they got halfway through and went, okay, I'm intrigued, I want to know what's happening. I can see where people would think the first half is boring compared to the rest of the book, because when you compare it to the rest of the book, the first half is not super exciting, but I liked it because it built these people up and made the ending so much stronger. There are people in this book that I hated but then ended up loving. There are people that were the reverse, where I loved them and then ended up just hating them with my guts. And there's just so much that happens in this, 400-page book? Not quite 400, it's about 370. but there's just so much that happens, and I cannot wait for the second one to come out. Have I said that enough? Have I said I can't wait for the second one to come out? Because I feel like I've said that quite a lot. But it's true. I need to know. I believe I gave this a 4.5 stars. That sounds about right. So that's about it for this book review. I didn't want to go into too many details because I know this book is so new, and I tried to keep the spoilery parts down and warn you. If any of you guys have read this book, let me know what you think. I would love to get your opinions on them. Let me know down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you're not already, and join our fun little family over here. And yep, that's about it, and I hope to see you guys in a few days. Bye!